Meanwhile, we are just 97 days away from the US election, the presidential election. American voters want to know what they're getting. They're done seeing grown-up men attacking each other. I hope they are. We are. They want to see more than name-calling and public quarrels, they say. And they want reasons motivating enough to cast their ballot. So how seriously are the presidential candidates taking these concerns? Are they taking them seriously at all? In the next few minutes, we shall find out, starting with the most likely Democratic nominee, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., better known as Joe Biden, the former vice president of the US, the main challenger to Donald Trump. What does Mr. Biden bring to the table? What's his election strategy? What is his agenda? Well, he's outlined so far an economic agenda to end racial inequality. He has promised to close the wealth gaps between the majority and minority communities. He's announced a series of policies to steer more federal money to black neighborhoods. He's promising more tax credits for minority-owned firms. He's trying to show voters that he is committed to end racial and economic inequality.
Strengthen the Federal Reserve's focus on racial economic equity. The Fed has a profound impact on our economy. Most people wouldn't even think the Fed has anything to do with this. Its existing mandate promotes maximum employment and stable prices. Under my plan, I believe the Fed should add to that responsibility and aggressively target persistent racial gaps in jobs, wages, and wealth, revise its hiring and employment practices, and achieve greater diversity at all levels of that institution, including diverse nominees for the Board of Governors and the regional federal banks.
Are these promises finding any support? The answer is yes, if you believe the opinion polls. On your screen is a poll graph by 538. This is a polling aggregation website. It shows you how Donald Trump has been consistently trailing since March. Initially, there was only a 5 to 6 percentage point gap. Now it has widened to 8 to 9 points. Joe Biden continues to lead. But you know the thing about opinion polls, they get it wrong very often. And Joe Biden's campaign has the support of some high-profile but obvious public figures like his buddy and former US President Barack Obama. The two recently got together for what they call socially distanced conversation. They discussed pandemic leadership, the growing pressure on the health sector, the state of the US economy, and of course, as Obama calls him, the Donald.
I don't think he has any sense of empathy or I don't think he can associate at all.
You and I had experience dealing with health crises, and public health crisis. And in each instance, what you and I understood and why I have so much confidence that you're going to be able to deal with COVID in the way that other countries with our kinds of resources are dealing with it right now, which is smartly. I have confidence that you're going to actually listen to the experts.
Joe Biden's campaign strategy can be called smart. Not only does he have the former US president backing him, he also has the support of some influential Hollywood stars like George Clooney. I don't know if that sways American voters, but he has it. George Clooney recently joined Barack Obama for a virtual fundraiser for Joe Biden. It was a 45-minute event in which the two men traded a few jokes and discussed the urgency of defeating Trump. George Clooney, let me remind you, is just one of the many Hollywood stars supporting Joe Biden. What about Donald Trump? Who's on his side? Who's supporting him? Well, one after the other, Trump's closest allies, even relatives, seem to have turned against him. They've written tell-all books. They've called him unfit for presidency. To add to that, there are protests on the streets of the US. People are blaming Trump for the growing racial inequality and police violence. Then we have health experts publicly denouncing the president's policies, like Dr. Anthony Fauci. Donald Trump is drawing criticism, it seems, from all sides. So at a recent press conference, he acknowledged the fact, even tried to joke about it. You have to watch this.
So it sort of is curious. A man works for us, with us very closely, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, also highly thought of. And yet they're highly thought of, but nobody likes me. It can only be my personality, that's all.
Nobody likes me, he says. Well, love him or hate him, you cannot deny the fact that this president speaks his heart out. And that's probably why he draws so much criticism. Well, he may be down, but he's certainly not out. Donald Trump is fighting back. He has rebooted his efforts to win this election. He has cut down on the rhetoric, or so we are told. He's talking more in line with medical consensus. And he has started wearing a mask. The race to the White House is getting serious.